Good morning, guys. Welcome to the weekend edition, Sunday edition. So we're going to try and keep it a little spiritual today. I'm joined here by my two lovely guests. We've got Joanne Hitchens, who's a writer, amongst many other things. Welcome to the show, and
Thank
what
you.
a pleasure to meet you. And of course, gospel singer, award-winning singer, and record company owner, Ntokozo Mbambo. Thank you for coming to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we decided to coordinate. And because we are coordinating, I decided to throw Kanye into the kitchen with all her color blocking people. What's going on in the kitchen?
Yeah, you better not diss me. And this is not color, this is actually butterscotch. Okay? I am the girl that you wake up with every morning. I said it, the girl that you wake up with. Welcome to the Sunday edition of the weekend edition. And I'm not alone as usual. We have our mother, our feeder, our feeder, the person who makes us feel good. Jenny, and I have a visitor today. Ursula, how are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good, thank you. Welcome to the show. So what's happening? I see a lot of green.
Oh, we're going green today, darling. We're going to start off today with the soup.
But no, Joe, they are both in blue. They're both in blue. So as we listen to the next performance by Ntokozo, let's hear what she has to give us. Let's go.
It's the dawning of a new day with new levels of influence, new beginnings with new meaning, and it begins with a great desire to serve the Lord with one heart as we release a worship that shifts the atmosphere. New day, new day, new day. It's the dawning of a new day. It's a new day. It's the dawning of a new day. It's the dawning of a new day with new levels of influence, new beginnings with new meaning, and it begins with a great desire to serve the Lord. So we release a worship that shifts the atmosphere. Dawning of a new day. It's a new day. New day. It's a dawning of a new day. We believe that it's a new day. Confess it, and we proclaim It's a dawning of a new day. Just put a smile on your face. It's a dawning of a new day. The storm is over. The sun's about to shine. For weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. God is faithful to bring to completion the good work He started in you. Don't cry no more, wipe your tears. It's a dawning of a new day. The struggle is over. The struggle is over. It's a new day. New day. It's a dawning of a new day. Thank you, Lord, for a brand new day. Forget about the mistakes of yesterday. It's a dawning of a new day. It's a brand new day. Brand new day. Brand new day. It's a dawning of a new day.
Of a new day. I told you, Joe, if she starts singing, she makes you check yourself. Wow. You're still watching the weekend edition. See you after the break.
Welcome back to Weekend Edition. We are on the couch with
Yeah,
Ntokozo.
Mo.
What a beautiful performance that was.
Thank you so much.
It was hypnotic. You know what I mean? Like, as a song, like, at the end, I was like, girl, please stop. I was like, please, don't take us there. I'm going to have to go to church right now.
But that's the whole point.
Yeah, what a beautiful voice. Tell us about that song, Dawning of a New Day. Firstly, it's from your current album.
Yes.
Which is out in stores now, which is called
Spirit and Life.
Spirit and Life. Now, this album just came out. This is not the album where you won the South African Music Award for, is it?
This one as well.
Oh, it's this one. So you have an award for this?
This one and the previous.
And the previous one. And then the 2 Crown Gospel Awards you won for
The previous
your previous album. Tell us a bit about that song. What inspired it? And obviously the message is quite clear, but for you?
I think, basically, my husband wrote the song. Ngobeko Mbata, he wrote the song Dawning of a New Day.
Yeah.
It was just basically an encouragement, man, you know, that we're facing so much negativity. There's just, it looks like we're in our darkest hour, as not only as the nation, but as the entire world.
Yeah.
You know, there's just so much wrong going on. And it was just a message just to uplift people's spirits, you know, and let them know that the sun's going to shine one day, you know. Don't give up hope yet.
Yeah.
It's a dawning of a new day. Yeah.
It's not even just the message. The way you sing it, you keep saying it over and over and over again until we get it. But yeah, wow. So people don't know this, but you have been singing since the beginning of time. Like you were made to sing. You're not an engineer. You're not a doctor. You never studied nursing. You weren't gonna be a teacher. You wanted to sing from the very beginning.
Yes.
How did that come on? How did you know so early that you wanted to sing? Is it something that you had to kind of practice and prepare yourself for? Was it a gift?
I think it's a God-given gift. It comes naturally to me.
Yeah.
I don't struggle.
So you
kind of
have-
like you, what you're doing.
Oh, I
you don't
struggle. Trust me, I'm struggling right now.
But you don't look like it.
Right,
though.
right.
Yeah,
I know how to fake
you don't look
it,
like
yeah.
it to us. You know, so the same thing is as well. It's a gift. It's a God-given gift. And I think from a very young age, my parents discovered that I could sing, and they were like, okay, this is what we're going to push you towards.
So no voice training, no, you weren't taught. You've been singing like that since you were little, naturally.
Yes. Yeah.
That's incredible. I can't even hear a note to save my life, like much less hold a note. You had it naturally.
Yeah. That's just how it was.
Like I have to use a thingy to tune an instrument. Like is this D? Ding, 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 D. Wow, that is incredible. You're truly gifted then. And your husband obviously works with you.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that later because he's also part owner of your business, and clearly he's a producer and writer. And I think it's wonderful that you guys are in a situation where you can work together and walk this path together. But Ntokozo, everybody, we're going to talk to you some more. Kanye, what have you got going on over there?
Joe, we're talking about literature and reading. Reading is life, and learning the words in a book gives you freedom. You know, like she said, it's like spirit and life. And I'm sitting with Joe. She reviews books, and she literally shares her ideas, and she's busy reading. What are you reading now?
Hi, Kanya. Yeah, I'm reading, well, I've actually just finished it, The Woman Next Door by Yewande Omotoso. And it's just a wonderful book. I saw the cover and just loved it. There's just kind of bright cover screaming at me in the bookshop, so I bought
beautiful,
it.
yes.
And there's another reason I bought it as well, is Yewande was one of my students at UCT when I taught creative writing. So I'm always kind of looking at the work that my students do. So, but now she's really moved on. She's won the various awards for her novels. And I just love this. It's about two women who live in the same security complex in Constantia. The one is black and the one is white. And, you know, we've got this black-white thing going on in South Africa, Aish. So they struggle with each other, but they've been living next door for 20 years. And as one reads the story, one learns so much about them as women. One learns about their lives, about their struggles. Hortensia, the woman originally from Barbados, has been discriminated against her whole life. She married a man who was unfaithful. She wanted kids and couldn't have them. So, you know, there's all of that background. Whereas the other character, Marion, is much more well-to-do, has 4 kids, but she doesn't get on with them anymore. So, yeah, so one learns that both of these women are struggling. And I think that's the beauty of the book, that it transcends the black-white thing, and you just see these women who find a way to work together and become friends.
But your love for literature, now taking you away from the book, has it always been a thing that you've always had, or did you find it as you went along? Because you also studied psychology, so you understand the mind and human behavior. How did this all come about?
Yeah, I've done a lot of things in my life, and I think basically it's given me the building blocks to actually become a writer, because one needs to have a lot of experience.
Yes.
But becoming a writer also means that you're going to starve to death if you don't have other things to do as well. So, yeah, I knew that I wanted to write, and I've written some novels of my own. Then I went into editing, and I really enjoy that. I love to work with other people.
Yes.
I love to work with younger people. I love to encourage them, to help them to really recreate their ideas.
Yes.
And I love South African stories. I love South African literature. So when people are writing South African stories, then I'm the first one in the queue to read them.
How many books do you own?
How many books do I own?
Yes.
Oh, hundreds.
Do you have a room full of books?
I've got a room full of books, yeah. And I force my kids to read books, and I buy them books for birthdays and Christmas, and yeah. So I love books. And I think we should be reading more. You know, a lot of our kids are really just glued to their screens, whether it's their cell or, you know, the Wi-Fi at home, which doesn't get switched off, and computer games.
Yeah.
And reading works differently with the brain. You know, if you can get your kids to read, they create those pictures in their mind as they're reading.
But do you think South Africans read? Is there a culture, especially in the young South Africa, that do they read?
Yeah, I do think they read. But I also think it's up to us as parents and as teachers to really encourage them to read more.
Yes.
Reading is so important, and it's so easy as parents to say, never mind, you know, just go and watch TV or get in your screen time. But there are a lot of great South African books for young people, and there are more and more South African writers. And our South African literature is fabulous. It's as good, if not better, than some of the stuff coming from overseas.
Because, Joe, you know, I know a lot of celebrity moms when we talk, and I think a lot of young moms as well. We struggle to get our kids to read, even people my age that would love to start. What routine would you give someone, or advice, to help them start the process or getting into tune of starting to read?
I think a good idea is to read with your child every night, if you can. To read them picture books, to even go on and read chapters of books with them. And I know we're busy women, busy fathers. It's a hell of a difficult to fit in that time. But it's such a great building block. And from that point of view, kids then appreciate books. They learn how to read, they learn to appreciate story. and they will hopefully become the readers of the future.
Yes.
I think also just as adults, if we read, if we have books lying around the house, if we show that books are just part of our existence, the same way that, you know, grapes and juice are available in the house, if there are books around, we can get excited about books, and we see it
Yes.
as the normal way
I
of
love
life.
books personally, but once it's too thick, then it scares me.
Yeah,
Then
I
it
agree.
just, it's, I feel claustrophobic. I feel like my world's just shutting in. When I have it in mind, I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm that, then I read the first part, then the middle, then I go all the way to the back and I try and find it.
But you've also got a book,
Yes. Yes, I
about
do.
your
An autobiography.
yeah,
Yes.
fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I hope you've got a lot of copies of those lying around
I do.
your house.
I do, and I think
yeah.
I'm going to go into a second one because I really
fantastic.
found that people love people's stories and self-help and going through someone's journey because they find themselves in little experiences that I've gone through, and I think it's also healing. You know, reading a book gives you comfort as well.
Absolutely.
It does.
Yeah, yeah. So non-fiction, I think, is really a hot seller because, as you say, people want to relate.
Yes.
They love the resonance of reading
Yes.
someone else's story, and they
Yes.
can say, yeah, you know, I struggled as well. I can really understand what that person's going through, and they've helped me.
Have you ever read horror stories, or are they really
horror
scary?
stories?
Yes.
Yeah,
are they scary?
I love a good horror story. Yeah, but it's not my preference. But you know, a lot of the kind of teenage kids these days are reading zombie stories
Yes.
and vampire stories, and there's a lot of those kind of spots on TV as well.
Yes.
But look, as far as I'm concerned, anything, you know, comics. Self-help, fiction, non-fiction.
just read South African,
short,
read.
slim books, you know.
Yes.
I kind of prefer those myself. That's why I like short stories.
Well, Jo, I'd like to say thank you so much, and I believe that South Africans really need to read some more.
Thank you so much, Kanye.
Thank you. So from one artistic outlet to another, David Crate Projects in Johannesburg is a unique space where the art printing comes alive. We went there on Sunday with Jaco van Skalkwyk to attend one of their workshops. So let's have a look and see at the collaboration between print master and master artists. Let's go.
In the world of plates, inks and presses at David Crate Projects, visual artist Jaco van Skalkwyk is experimenting with his love of color and lyrical form.
I decide to become an artist every morning, so it's a decision I make every day. But the first time, I remember clearly, I was 19. I didn't know what I was doing, but I decided to become an artist in the springtime. It was beautiful, and I thought, let's give this a shot.
Although Jaco welcomes a measure of chance into his work, communicating forms with personally influenced colors, his success comes from being willing to explore and learn.
I think I've been very lucky, you know. I've worked really hard, but, you know, you don't always know. Well, in fact, you never know what's going to happen, you know, especially when you're 19. You don't know what the consequences are of your decisions. But you learn as you go along, and you're gambling, you know. You just keep on gambling and keep on going, and I think that's just the point, is to keep going.
The collaboration between the David Crate Studio and Jaco took 5 years to come to fruition, and guiding him through the art of printing is master printer Gillian Ross.
We at David Crate, we specialize in etching. What that means is actually working on copper plates. We either work in subtractive processes or additive processes. This one's called carborundum, using acid to etch into the surface of copper. We ink up the entire surface of the plate, and what we do is we actually polish it. So what that does is it forces the ink into the grooves in the plate. We polish the surface of it, we run it through a press on damp paper, and using the blankets, they act as a buffer and draw the ink out of the plate and onto the paper. So everything comes out backwards, in a sense, in reverse. So we use plates in order to print an edition. And what that means is we use the same plate, we ink it up every time, and we can print a series, which is called an edition. So we print anywhere up to 50, maximum. More, usually we print about 10.
It's been years of wanting to work with Gillian Ross, who's an amazing printmaker, and her team is fantastic, you know. So I'm here really trying to explore some of the printmaking sort of techniques and the medium. It's really complicated. It's wonderful. You know, it's an ancient form of making. So on the one hand, there's me working in my studio, and I'm drawing or I'm painting. And then on the other hand, there's this, which is really a place where people come together to make things. It's important to work with other people. You know, it's important for us to have a community of technicians and artists who come together and sort of keep this form not just alive, but you know, the form is keeping us alive. You know, so it's wonderful to have what I have in my studio, and then through David's support and this studio, be able to have something running on the side almost, or it's something that's complementing what I do in the studio.
Jakob is working in various mediums which he combines in layers so the viewer can see his process. He chose a very specific color palette and is printing on rice paper, left to him by pioneering printmaker Alice Golden.
What I have a tendency of noticing is that when an artist is working in their own studio, they're working on their own. When they come into my studio, they're working with a number of people. Could be up to 6 of us. Sometimes it's one-on-one, but you're in an area of where people can help you. So you have the possibility to explore an idea that you might not do in your own studio. 1, because you're not quite sure about it. 2, this is a new medium, so you can kind of explore a little bit more than you would normally. And 3, because you have help to do it. Someone in the process of collaboration will actually show you an insight into how maybe you walk through that door into experimenting in something new. I also noticed that once, because you have to remember how to do it. And the nicest part is that the artist gets to actually focus on making the image while we focus on the technical. So you don't need to understand it wholeheartedly, you actually just need to kind of understand how to make marks. I make everyone make them by hand. I don't use any photographic process whatsoever. So any mark making on the copper plate is done by the artists themselves.
Everybody here is working really hard. So we work hard together. It takes a lot of people to make these prints happen, you know. So I'm very happy to be here.
Jakob's engaging work asks us to think freely in a world of color and shapes.
After the break, we join the gentleman as Joe is sitting with Ashley Ace, a businessman who's breaking ground in the medical field. See you now.
Welcome back to Weekend Edition. As we continue, we've got a really special guest, an inspiring guest, Ashley Ace. Is that how you say the name? It's Ace.
Yes.
Ace.
Ice.
Ace or Ace?
Like ice? Ice in a...
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Ashley Ace. I've been living in Cape Town for so long. I should know how to say Ace. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
And you are inspirational because you are a true blue entrepreneur. There are not many of you left. Everyone else is kind of like a wheeler dealer, but you actually have built a business from the ground up, and I think that people need to hear your story. You grew up in Belhar, right?
Belhar, yeah.
Is Belhar sort of like a hard place to grow up, or is it?
Yeah, it's on the Cape Flats.
All right.
Of course, it has its own challenges.
Yeah. Gangsterism.
For sure.
Yeah?
Sure.
So you had to go to school. I remember talking to Loiso, and he talks about how when you go to school, he'd have to go through these gang territories.
Yeah.
And you learn how to fight very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And you obviously then ended up being a biotechnologist. That is incredible.
Thanks.
How did you make that transition? What do you attribute to that success, the ability to kind of come from an area like that and be in a high-tech scientific field like you are now?
Yeah, I'm the eldest of 5 boys, and obviously setting an example was important for me.
Okay.
So coming from a difficult background,
Yeah.
I didn't have much of a choice. I had to look at my passion and what I want to achieve.
Right.
And at school, fortunately for me, when I was younger, we were active on the sports field. But these days in Belhar areas, drugs are obviously a massive problem. So I decided to dedicate my life to science. And I always had a passion for industry, and I thought of, utilizing what I've learned at university and what is needed in Africa. And that's when I decided I'm actually going to venture into business, try to use my scientific skills, develop products needed in Africa. And drugs of abuse being a massive problem, I focused on bringing the first drugs of abuse test for parents to test the kids to market. And that's how I got into
Oh,
space.
wow. Your first product was a drug test.
Correct.
What kind of drug test was it?
So it was a multi-test whereby you collect your kid's urine.
Yeah.
You dip the test in there like a pregnancy test. And it detects methamphetamine, cocaine, heroin, all the hard drugs
Wow.
within 5 minutes. And I
Meth,
knew...
of course, being thick.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I knew that, you know, parents needed this. You know, when I grew up, methamphetamine took off. And I then decided, I'm 24 years old. How am I going to convince a big pharmaceutical company to listen to me? For a year, I struggled to get a meeting. And
So you had developed this kit, you're trying to get it out to market,
Yeah.
and you want to distribute it and the companies are not giving you the time of day.
I'm 24 years old, I'm a scientist.
And who are you? Yeah.
Exactly. You know, it was extremely challenging. But then I decided to look at business competitions and to build my profile through the media
Right.
so that I can get these meetings.
Did you ever get the meeting?
Yeah, fortunately, they gave me 10 minutes in lunchtime. They had a board meeting, Alpha Farm Pharmacies down in Cape Town.
Yeah.
In the lunchtime, they said, look, we'll give you 10 minutes, we'll listen to you.
Right.
So, of course, me pitching the product, I had to now show the benefits of the product. Went there with my consultant in my suit, had a presentation up, and
Yeah.
I thought, you know, pictures will explain what we're selling better. And I
Yeah.
had before and after pics of people being on TIC.
Right.
And I then pitched it as a corporate social investment, you know.
Right.
If you invest in this product, we can rebrand it, we can put it under your brand.
Give
and
it
of
away.
Course, of course, doing that,
Yeah.
you now build leverage to be able to supply bigger pharmaceutical companies. They then see you having a reference, which is a reputable company. That was a strategy I decided to
Did it work?
focus. Well, for sure. After I supplied them, other pharmaceutical companies then said, oh, you're supplying them. Now we trust
can
your
supply
product.
us, yeah.
Exactly. So now we trust your product, and why don't you supply us as well?
So it was a strategic move, and the product, did it end up in stores? The parents have to go and buy it, and like,
Sure.
did it sell?
Yeah, it sold.
How many kits could you say you sold?
Well, we went from 0 rand to R1 million in 1 year.
Get out of here. That is
Yeah.
incredible, and you're 24 years old.
24 years.
What an incredible achievement, man. All right, so, okay. So you decided early on to take life seriously, focus on science, and you ended up studying biotechnology and minoring in microbiology at UWC.
Yeah.
That's a very difficult course. I mean, I remember people who studied those two courses were the ones who dropped out or ended up changing to like a minor in English or something like that. How did you set your mind to it and actually get it done?
For me, it was prioritizing. Fortunately, or let me rather say unfortunately, I didn't have the funds to fail. So, of course,
You
I
had to
work.
pass.
I had to work. After class, I had to go work and pack fish, stuff like that. And,
So you'd come to school smelling of fish.
exactly.
There was no girls, of course.
Yes, of course.
Oh, there was?
It's UWC.
Because that's a distraction.
It is.
Oh, all right, so you allowed yourself that one indulgence.
Yeah.
But you had to work, and were you staying on campus? Were you still staying at home with your mom?
Yeah,
And
I stayed 15 minutes away from campus, fortunately. But of course, you know, first year being the most difficult year, peer pressure, coming
Yeah.
from school,
Yeah.
seeing people braaiing, having fun, you
Yeah.
know, mom and dad picking them up. Me, I had a different path. I had to walk to campus and ensure that I make a success out of it because the finances weren't there to pay for it. So, of course, that's a big motivation
Yeah.
to actually do your best and believe in yourself and be
Right.
confident. And yeah, and that's when I decided to venture into business because I saw that I could overcome this step.
Yeah.
And I knew for sure that I didn't want to be in a laboratory doing research, writing research papers.
Yeah.
Massive gap in Africa, you know,
Right.
biotechnology. Companies importing products from abroad.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, if I focus and cater for the African market,
Right.
for sure it's a social impact that the products assist in
yeah,
treatment as well.
now, nanotechnology is what he focuses on. You won the SAB Kickstart National Business of the Year Award. You were named the Western Cape Business Opportunity Forum Young Entrepreneur of the Year. You made the Forbes magazine list of Africa's best young entrepreneurs. And this is because of this special diagnostic kit that you developed now, not for drugs, but for diseases.
Yeah, malaria, HIV. Innovation after that, obviously having confidence in bringing products to market.
Yeah.
I then looked at other innovations. And a new product coming out to market soon is called Oculus ID. It's
What is
actually software. It's not in my industry, but because I worked in the drugs of abuse space, I knew there were certain physiological changes to the pupil of the eye. So if your kid's on drugs, the pupil dilates.
Oh, you can just look at the eyes.
Yeah, but now the significant factor is if you flash light in the eye, the pupil reacts slower to light. That's the reason why impairment, you slower, your reactions time slow. So we thought of, what about a mobile app on your phone? What if you can have an app where there's a flash and a camera that can actually analyze your pupil of your eye and see if your kids are on drugs? And that is where we then came up with Oculus ID. And this product will come to market by the end of this year.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That is incredible. There's so many questions I want to ask you. Firstly, you know, whenever you talk to entrepreneurs, they always tell you the victories, right? Like, and you always go, wow, it's so easy. You just go out. What would you say are some of the difficulties that you face? What would be the one big challenge or one big moment in your life where you thought, maybe this is not for me, this is not going to happen, it's not going to work?
It's defining your strengths and your weaknesses. So, of course, being young, passionate, having all the energy to go.
There are no weaknesses.
Yeah, you just know it all.
Yeah.
You know it all. And what I've discovered was that a big important factor for me was to realize, where am I strong and weak? And unfortunately, I've learned the hard way, paid my school fees by doing a contract for a company in Germany. But the legal agreement was so loose-ended that
they took you for a bath.
Exactly.
So you're not an admin guy.
No, I'm not a lawyer or an accountant.
You're happy in a lab coming up with great solutions and great ideas.
Marketing, looking at innovation. Yeah. That is what I focus on.
Got you.
Yeah.
Wow, man. And now your mother works for you.
Yeah.
What does she do?
She heads up the factory and look after creditors who I pay and how much do I owe them, of course.
Now, hold on. So when you were younger, what was your mother doing? Was she doing this type of work?
No, she used to work for a security company, G4S, you know, the...
She was a security guard?
No, counting us, working
okay, all right. So she's used to a bit of admin, back office, etc. So she's...
Systems person.
And she must be so proud to work for the family business.
It is, but it's challenging, eh?
Yeah.
At work, I call her Desiree, and after hours, I have to call her mom. You know?
Does she ever get into mom mode at the job, at work, and like?
Well, in the boardroom, yes.
Does she really? Oh man! All right, Ashley, I want you to stick around. We're going to continue talking. I've got so many more questions for you. Guys, I want you to stick around as well because the show still continues. We got Jenny Morris in the kitchen. She's busy. Is she sewing? Are you sewing, Jenny? She's supposed to be cooking. She's sewing.
No, she's knitting.
I'm multitasking.
Oh, she's knitting. Yeah, okay. All right, there you go.
I'm multitasking.
It goes down here on Weekend Edition. More music, more chat, more talk, more inserts. Stay where you are.
It's a weekend. It's a weekend.
Welcome back. You're still on SABC3 watching the Weekend Edition. I found him. You know when we always say that, Utaki. I found Utaki. I know who Utaki is. And we spend time with him seeing what he does by taking young people into different spaces. Let's check out what hiking with Utaki is like.
The name is Nzika, surname Daki. I started hiking with Itaki 7th of March 2016.
I feel like a ride in the city with you here, showing me the way to go. It feels like home.
A friend of mine, Chris Njokwana, was hiking up Lion's Head. He did 23 hikes in 23 days. We started supporting him by going up with him on Lion's Head a few times. I experienced a little bit of racism. People reacting to young black people as if they're criminals, trying to hide their phones when we walk past. People not wanting to use the same letters only because we walked up on them. So I thought it would be best for me to get other young black people to go up Lion's Head so that people could understand that not every black guy is a criminal.
The dab is a trending dance right now. We are using it as our victory dance when we get to the top of the mountain.
Most of us as young black people, we're not really that active. So I was like, okay, cool, let me kill two birds with one stone. When I tweeted about this, people showed interest in it. The same afternoon, we decided to start the hiking.
10 minutes to the flag, from the flag, 10 minutes to the chair, from the chair, 10 minutes to the chains, and then from the chains we go straight up.
Next month, I'm taking it to the Eastern Cape, trying to spread it into the whole of South Africa, just to get young black people to be active and to just go to spaces that they don't usually go to, just to experience the country and see different places in South Africa. A really, really, really good vibe going forward.
Straight up, people work late. They wake up and come here. Boom. Boom.
That is so awesome.
You don't get that in Joburg.
No, we don't, okay?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
we're wearing heels and nice dresses and driving big cars.
Okay, excuse
Yes.
me. Nzika, welcome to the Weekend Edition, man. How are you?
I'm doing very well. And yourself?
I'm very good, man. I'm just a little pissed off. You're 26 years old. You've got your own business. What was I doing at 26?
26, I was married.
Oh, you were married. No, wow, man. What a crazy story. So when I first heard the name of your company, Hiking with Itaki, I was like, but why would he call his company that?
Because we found Utaki, you know,
But-
but it's Utaki.
But that's your surname. Is that really your name?
It is my surname.
So it's a sort of double entendre. It's a play on
Yes.
the word Daki.
It came from that word and the fact that it was mainly for young black people.
Yeah.
When I started the whole hiking thing, so yeah, and it just worked together. It was like my surname is Daki and
Yeah.
black
But
people are
without the
referred
R.
Without
It's
the R, it's
D-A-K-I-A. Because I kind of have an issue
yeah,
with
yeah,
the
the
with the
darky.
D. Yeah, you're a darky. Like, I don't know. So I was like, you called your company, you know. But I get it. It's fun. And I love hiking. One of my favorite pastimes is taking my son hiking here in Cape Town. So your company, what do you do? Explain.
Well, basically, the whole idea is to start experiencing new things as young black people, because especially in Cape Town, in a place where we don't do much hiking,
Yeah.
much fitness stuff, we don't explore art, go to Bree Street and all these kind of things. It's just that it started with hiking. It was the first thing that happened. So we're going to explore a lot more and do it like so many other different things.
So
who
it's
the
not
peop-
just hiking.
It's not just hiking. Right now, it's only hiking because that's where we started. Started it in March. So that's what we've been doing,
Yeah.
like for now. But going forward, there's a lot of other things. There's different events that we're trying to do in terms of your art. We're trying to get people to play golf. So many other different things.
Nice.
Just who are the people you take on these hiking trips? Is it tourists or is it more people kokas?
It's young black people, because what we experienced, it was because we were like 4 young black people going up Lion's Head.
Yeah.
And we weren't received so well while going up.
What do you mean you
We
weren't
experienced
received
racism on Lion's Head a few times. We were hiking up quite a lot of times. That was in January and February.
This year?
Yeah. Chris was hiking up a lot of times. We supported him, and when we went up, we experienced racism.
What happened? What was the experience?
It started small, where people wouldn't want to use the same letters as us when we walk up, because when you go up on Lion's Head, there are letters.
Get out of here. Wait a minute, I go on those letters and I have people below me, on top
Well,
of
that's
me.
the
So
thing.
with you,
If someone decides to turn around only because you just walked past them, and like a few of four young black guys going
Well, I
up,
don't
you know.
mind more exclusivity for me.
And
if you're
then-
not going to use my route, don't stay in my route.
And then people were starting to hide their phones when we walk past. And the minute we walk past, they start pulling them out again to take pictures. So we're like, okay, cool. So we're the problem here. And I heard a conversation one time. I was walking behind a group of people, which I think were tourists. And one guy from the conversation was South African. And it was mainly about how horrible black people are in South Africa and everything. So from there, I
2016.
just decided, you know what? Let me bring more black people to Lion's Head. And from there, I just thought of the idea of bringing young black people to spaces that they don't usually occupy. And
why do you think that black people don't explore and experience the great outdoors to the full extent that other people do? I mean, the Western Cape is beautiful. We obviously don't take as many holidays and things like that. But from your experience, what do you think the reasons are?
I'll be talking about mainly Cape Town.
Yeah.
Because it's the one that I know. Things like hikes are not really advertised in places like your townships, in your Gugulethu and Khayelitsha. So many people stay there, but they don't know that you could actually go up to Table Mountain without taking the cable car.
That it's accessible,
And they cannot afford it. People in Mitchell's Plain don't know that. It's only sold to tourists, you know, and to certain people in different areas of the city of Cape Town. And In Cape Town, that's mostly the reason.
So how do you afford to take them? Because if there's a
It's
certain
free.
amount...
He just hikes.
Oh, he just hikes,
We-
okay.
we just
Hiking
go-
is walking is free.
Well, so you don't need to pay like a botanical gardens to be in that space?
Not at all.
Okay.
So there are a few routes that you can go up to Table Mountain, explore the same places everyone else who paid when
How
they
long
went
is the
up.
route? Oh, wow.
The one that we do, which is, it takes us an hour and 13 minutes.
Yeah.
That most people would take 2 hours to
There's
get
an
up.
8-hour hike, Kanye, on that mountain route.
Is it reclined or is it straight?
No, you go up and then you plateau and then you go down. Like, you know, it's a whole day. You take supplies, food, water the whole night. And you know what? People don't realize it's beautiful. There's water reservoirs up there. It's like
There
a
are.
beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. And
I
there's
heard about that.
hotels.
For real? Okay, then maybe
Yeah.
I can give you a call.
So you guys only have you gone hiking in some of the other areas around the peninsula? Because it's not just Table Mountain and
Yeah,
Lions Head. Everyone thinks those are the only two places you can go hiking.
Well, what we're trying to do right now, there's a team of us, there's like 4 of us. We're trying to explore the route by ourselves so that we know that when we take other groups, we already know what the route is like. We have a new one that we're going to explore, which is in Hout Bayside, which is your Chapman's Peak.
Yeah. Oh,
So there are a few other routes that we're looking at, but the ones that we do the most, because it's accessible to most people in terms of coming from the township and coming to town and having to go there, it's Lions Head and Platteklip Gorge.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 main ones we've done, but we're going to new ones.
What's your best hike that you've ever done out of all of them? For someone like me who's gonna dirt, where should I start?
I mean, in terms of time.
You have to take off the Versace heels first. Though. You can't go
Yeah.
hiking. I mean,
In terms of time, I've personally done 54 minutes up on Platteklip Gorge, which is a 2-hour hike for most people, with a few of my mates. We've done Lions Head in 25 minutes.
Wow.
So, but when we do it with a group of people, we don't
Go fast,
you
yeah.
know, as fast.
there are guys who, there's a race, a Lions Head race, and the guys do it in like
Yeah, I've heard of
10,
that
15
race.
minutes. Yeah.
So you kind of like run up. That's the level that I'm trying to get to personally. But
Yeah.
when we do it with a group of people, it's basically taking it easy. It's more of a social hike. We take a lot of pictures.
But I want to know now, what has it done for the kids? What change has it brought to them, the kids that you've taken on this experience?
So for most people, like some people would be going up there for fitness, and it's helped a lot of other people realize that there's a lot more to the city, you know, than the simple things that we do on a Saturday morning. You can actually
Recreation,
go up and explore and meet new people, and that's what happens every Saturday. People make new friends because there's always different groups of people.
The
coming
fitness component is very motivational because when you're going up there, it's like doing steps, but you're in a natural setting and you're seeing nature. Cool idea for you is a trail running club because I know there's a lot of people who love to trail run.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can cover obviously greater.
But definitely, it's one of the thoughts. There's a lot of things that we really want to do, and we really want to explore the city in so many different ways. So everything that we don't usually do, we're trying to just look into those spaces and explore and see what we can do about it.
All right, now as we
So
speak
nice.
with you right now, he's like on a bit of a break because you've got a crew outside hiking right now,
He's on
right?
the
You
clock
need to
as
get
we
back to
speak.
them, right?
No,
Something
not
like
hiking.
that.
So
What
you
are
want to
they
stay
doing?
for lunch?
Oh,
You
at
stay for
work.
lunch? You want to stay for lunch?
I might stick around.
Stick
I'll
around.
see. I'll see.
Jenny's got something in the kitchen, so
Is
you
it?
want to stick around.
Yeah, have a strawberry.
I could stick around for that.
Have a strawberry.
I'll have one.
Go.
No, not right now.
All right, man. So he's gonna stick around. We've got much more coming up. We've got some food with Jenny Morris.
She's making us a jersey as well.
Oh, is she? Yeah, that's right. And a
She's making us
blanket.
yes.
And of course, all our guests are gonna stick around. We want you to stick around. This is the weekend edition.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Weekend Edition right here on SABC3. Still sitting with Jo, and she's teaching us about literature, how to read, what to read, and what's hot and what's not. And 90% of the people she reads is people that she actually taught how to write. How cool is that, Jo?
Well, it's very cool, I must
so
say.
cool.
And
It's so cool.
yeah, just carrying on with that theme, I'm going to talk about the Short Sharp Stories project,
That's the
the
next
Short
book.
Sharp Stories Awards, actually, which is an award that has been started by the National Arts Council, and I curate it for them. And basically, you know, we were talking about how to get people to read.
Yes.
We also need to get South Africans writing their own stories. So this competition is aimed at that, is that we make a call once a year for writers to send in stories. And then we publish 20 of those stories in an anthology. And the
But
National
what's the criteria for them to...
the criteria, there's no criteria. You've got to be over 18 years of age and you've got to have a story to tell, and we will read whatever gets sent to us. And the fantastic thing is that these anthologies showcase prominent writers as well as new voices, and that's really exciting for us. This is last year's anthology called Incredible Journey. And the great news is that last week, one of the writers from Incredible Journey...
And I see your name on there.
Oh, my name, yeah, my name is on there. Yeah.
Yes.
As the editor.
Yes.
But last week, a writer called Lidudu Malingani, he won the Kane Prize, which is, you know, kind of one of the premier literature awards in the world.
Prestigious.
Yeah, it's like Charlize Theron bringing home the Oscar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're all really, really pleased with him. He's gone on BBC interviews and is being offered contracts here, there and everywhere. So that's, you know, again, story of young South Africans doing things, but with the support of this kind of project, which is fantastic. Yeah.
So how is the story? What is it about?
His story is called Memories We Lost. And interestingly enough, he's a village boy who's come to the city, and he's written the story about two young girls making an exodus from a village because one of the young girls is mentally disabled.
Yes.
So it's really, really an interesting story. And he's been featured in other anthologies that we've done. We did one last year's anthology. It was called, oh no, sorry, this is last year's anthology, excuse me.
Yes.
But the anthology the year before was called Adults Only, Stories of Love and Sensuality. And he was featured in that one. And that one won an award, the award for Best Edited Collection from the National Institute of the Humanities and the Social Sciences. So we were really thrilled about that.
Wow.
Yeah, and then this year's anthology is called Die Laughing.
That's what we all need.
Absolutely,
Yes.
yeah. You know, after this anthology, which was really heartfelt journeys, many journeys in cars and trains,
Yes.
but also a lot of journeys of the mind and journeys of struggle, we thought, yeah, it's time to have a little bit of fun.
It's a bit too serious and a bit morbid.
Yeah, it's a great read.
Yes.
But yeah, we just thought let's lighten it up a little bit for this year. So there we go, Die Laughing, stories of wit, satire and humour.
That's more me.
Some of them are quite dark because a lot of the time humour is based on the trials and tribulations of living.
Yes.
But
Instead of crying, we try and laugh.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And so there are a lot of stories here that will bring a smile to your dial, and I hope you do read it, Kanya.
I will. I will.
And
I might
a
just
lot
take
of,
that one.
You may.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, an interesting collection. Authors like Ofense Ribani, Andile Chele, Gail Schimmel, Fred Kumalo, Greg Lazarus. So a whole range of authors.
But I found that, you know, the best writers are usually people that share one common factor, which is struggle or experience.
Yeah.
Is that what makes good writers good? Do they need to have experience and go through things in life to actually understand how to put words together and string a sentence that will actually move you and take you somewhere?
Absolutely. I think the more experience, not necessarily, but if one can experience just the human condition, what it means to love and to struggle and to suffer, then of course one's going to infuse one's writing with that sort of emotion. And that's what's going to hook the reader. So if a writer can do that from the word go, hook the reader with feeling, I think that's what makes great stories.
Yes.
And then of course there are all the other things. You need to know how to create character, how to create setting, and that comes with honing the craft and practicing and writing more and more and more.
You know, with me, people know that I've got a book and I've had a book about myself. So usually when I go to appearances, I get to meet people that in different walks, from different walks of life. And you find guys that are not, you know, they're not privileged. And they'd say to me, Kanya, I write, but I don't have money to publish a book. I've written so many stories, and they'll show you piles and piles of paper. Is it expensive to get a publisher to take your work? Or is it, how do people go about it? Because I've got a lot of people that are so talented. And talent lies in people that face life for what it is, in real situations. How does one start to share their stories? Especially those that don't have money.
Yeah, there are so many stories out there and so many fabulously human stories that we need to be communicating as South Africans, because those are our stories. And for too long, they've been sidelined for, you know, other stuff. Overseas writers, prominent overseas writers. How would one get published? I think firstly one has to really write the story, and this is something writers need to understand, is that writing is often in the rewriting, and the rewriting, it's a little bit like any job that one takes on.
Yes.
There's a lot of hard slog to it.
Yes.
So it is really about writing that story, and then finding a publisher is very difficult. So that's why you find a lot of these small presses are being formed. People like the National Arts Festival, the National Arts Council,
Yes.
they support writers, especially new writers, because it is a risk. It's a risk for a publisher to put 50,000 Rand, let's say, into a novel, and that's what it costs once you consider printing costs and editing and marketing.
Yes.
So it's a risk, but I think it's a risk we need to be taking more of.
Yeah.
And then, of course, how to market the book, how to get people reading those books.
Yes.
But I think, you know, it comes with programs like this and
reaching out to the right
reaching out.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, even the book you did, you know, bringing people in, because that's a human story and
Yes.
people want to read about you.
And they can identify with it.
Yeah, and if they're hooked on you and reading, then maybe they'll be hooked on short stories
Yes.
or something else, or yeah, as long as it's a word on a page, that's what I feel.
5 people that you think in this country need to have a book, that you'd love to read their stories, like biographies. 5 people that haven't written a book before that you think deserve to have one.
That deserve to have a book.
Yes, that you think if they had to share their stories, like I for one think if our president Jacob Zuma had to write a book on his whole journey, honestly, I think that would be a top seller.
Yeah, I'd love it if some of Jacob Zuma's aides, people in the background, would write their
Yes.
stories as well.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
the real story. Yeah, it's difficult to say. I think there are just so many wonderful South Africans out there. There's a great podcast that's happening at the moment. It's called First Person, and it's about ordinary South Africans.
Wow.
And it's Marian Tam and Jane Morgan. They go and they interview these ordinary South Africans, and that's what fascinates me.
Yes.
Just the stories of ordinary South Africans.
Yes.
When it comes to the big names, yeah, you tell me, who else would you like to
Jeez, there's
to
so
write their
many.
story?
There's so many people. I think my co-host Joe. Joe has been in the industry, and when you look at the likes of people like, you know, your Thibaut Touches and whatever, they've taken so much from what he set in the industry. And I think if Joe had to share his journey, I mean, he's had his ups, his downs, and he's still standing. I'd love to read about him. There's so many people that I think if they had to really share, you know, their side and write it on their own, would be shocked to find out who they really are, because through a book you get to find the real person and not what people think. So I have a list long of people.
Yeah. To learn the story behind the story. And what I find as well is people often say, oh, that person was an overnight success.
Yeah, I hate that
Meanwhile, overnight success takes many years
Of
to
course.
produce, a lot of years of work
Yes.
and of struggle and
Yes.
hardship.
Yeah.
I think that really is important for people to acknowledge and to read about. And yeah, some of the other guests in the show today have spoken about it as well. Just
Sure.
focus and hanging in there.
So seeing that now you review books, people then think you probably just read, and that's all you do. But you must have other things that you do over the weekend. What do you get up to?
What do I get up to? I've got
On a
3
Sunday
kids.
like this?
They keep me busy. On a Sunday like this, I like to, sorry, I'm being really boring. I like to get into bed with a book because there are
Really?
no other responsibilities. I write myself. I'm an author. I've written 4 novels. The latest one is Sweet Paradise. It's a crime novel.
Wow.
So, of course, I love South African crime fiction,
Yes.
especially if it's quite quirky. What else do? I live in Muizenberg, so I walk on the beach. I've got dogs. I walk on the vlei. And
The life.
Yeah, the life.
The life,
Yeah.
the life.
While you are doing gigs and
Meeting
being a
people,
celebrity.
working, grinding, but you're my goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's thanks to people like you that we get attention for these wonderful projects.
Oh, it's only a
Yeah,
pleasure. And
yeah.
thank you so much once again for really spending time with us and opening our minds into the world of literature. See you now. Welcome back. You're still watching the weekend edition, and it's time to eat.
Yes.
We've been motivated, we've read, and now we need to eat. Please
You're
feed
hungry?
us. I'm
All right.
hungry. Feed
So
me.
listen, everybody thinks the soup it is long, slow cooking. It depends on what you're making. If you've got bones in it and things that need to cook down.
Yeah,
you
but it's
don't-
easy.
It's easy. You know, the
I love
thing
soups.
is, you don't have to eat soup that takes 10 hours to make. We can
No,
make this
45
soup
minutes.
like exactly.
There we go.
So I'm going to, in this 45 minutes, you're going to put half of that oil in there. And can you do it with a bit of attitude,
In
young
here,
man?
no, of course, you have to have attitude.
We'll do it.
And you have to splash it about like, you know,
Not on
some
your
of it's got to get
clothes.
on you.
What? Get on who?
But hold on, you've
Get it on
already
you.
done half of it.
No, you can't count. Another little.
Oh,
Can I have a
another
spoon, my
little.
love?
Wooden spoon?
Oh, sorry. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Did I? Was that too much? Okay.
He's dangerous.
All right. Okay.
Yes. Don't you know when to stop, young man?
No, I don't. Let's just keep going and going.
I'm going to put some butter in there. Butter.
That is beautiful butter.
It's beautiful butter.
It's such a golden yellow.
I love it. And the
Yeah.
reason we've mixed the two together, butter's going to enrich it and the oil's going to
What
stop
kind of
the
oil
butter
is this, by the
burning.
way?
Sunflower oil. I've used olive oil.
Okay.
But you can use any oil you like, really.
And of course, the butter's not burning, so you set the
It
temperature
won't.
just right.
Absolutely.
You're amazing.
And we have here 1, 2, 3 a day. The potatoes are going to make 4. And then, my love,
That smells
when you
so
start
great. That's celery
blitzing-
and onions, right?
Celery, onion. This is always the base of a soup, okay?
This is it. This is what
Nice.
makes the soup. You have,
I love it.
Yes.
And we're going to just put them all together. They're all hard veggies, so they can take their time. In any case, we're going to
Of
kill them in the
course.
machine later. And then potato, you want to cut that
Is
nice.
that potato?
It's potato.
It looks like garlic.
Garlic. I thought it was garlic as well.
Well, that's good too.
All right.
Why don't we add
But
some
why did you
onion?
chop it so finely? Like, that's a
Because-
lot of work.
It's not really a lot of work because it saves electricity, it saves time. It's going to cook down.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay.
Cook down quick.
Gotcha.
Darling, I'm going to give you free license to put as much garlic as you want in there, but don't
The whole
kill
bowl,
us.
girl. Let's
no,
go.
don't be ridiculous.
I mean, we don't.
Life is about balance, balance, balance.
Yeah, but this is an antibiotic. Let's go.
Hello,
not a
what,
lot.
what about if you have an
All right, that's
allergy?
enough. That's enough. There we
This
go.
is good.
Yeah.
Less is more. You can always add. You can't take away.
Right.
That
Okay.
smells good.
So what we're going to do is the minute that you've just said the magic word, the smell, the minute the aroma starts coming off.
Right,
the
and
pan,
everything gets that shimmery, shiny
I
coat.
love it.
Yes, of course. Yes.
It's called a saute.
Right.
We're going to put some of that in.
What is this?
But just give that garlic a chance. Give the
If
garlic
you
a
ate
chance
this like
to.
this, what would this be? What would you call this dish?
You know what I would then? I would add some bacon to that, a bit of cream, a few chopped tomatoes, and stick it on pasta.
There you go. Wow.
You see what I'm
Wow.
saying? Yeah, it's quick. Life is quick. Come
All
on, my
right.
darling.
So what are we putting in?
is
What is that?
This is some chicken stock. Now you can buy it if you get a good one, or you can make it. What I did with that one was I didn't have much time, so I bought a whole packet of chicken necks.
How do you make? Why she pours it? How do you
Yeah.
make chicken
How much
stock?
of this do I pour?
Just keep going, darling. Put till you get halfway through the pot. Chicken stock is very easy to make. It's with bones, clean bones.
So you get chicken bones, clean bones, and
That's
you boil
it.
them, or what?
You simmer them. The minute you start
Oh, you
boiling,
simmer
it starts
them.
to
You don't boil, you simmer them.
You know what
Okay.
we like, baby? We
Yes.
like a little bit of
Okay, I got you.
ripple on the water, not a volcanic eruption.
Right. So
Is
you
that
just
enough?
want to.
This is good. It's good.
I feel like she could add more, but she's stingy.
Not
but okay.
yet.
All
I'm
right,
not
all right.
stingy.
Not
It was
yet.
halfway, dear.
Now, whoops.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I get some on
No,
you?
you're going to do it.
All right, let me do it.
Can you put that on the back? I'm going to use the front.
Okay. On the back.
On the back burner.
Don't burn
darling.
These are
yourself, Joe.
very heavy pots.
You need a heavy pot. Okay, now this, what I have here is exactly what we have in that pot. So it's your
Pre-made.
onions, your leeks, your potato, and your celery, and I've cooked it down so it's nice and mushy. It's got the stock in it. If you want to give me a teaspoon, you can both taste it.
Okay.
Thanks, darling. You have a little taste. Can you just take the big
course.
spoon for you? And you,
Oh, do I need a little
you're
salt
quite
and
a
pepper?
stirrer, so you might as well give it a good old
I'll let the lady go
agitate it. Just have a little taste. So you've got the texture.
Just a dab, Kanye. Just a dab.
Is it
Is it nice?
tasty?
Did you take a big old potato chunk? I see a
Yeah, I
potato
did.
chunk.
I did.
All right. So this is tasting, Kanye.
Don't do it in the pot.
Oh, sorry.
That's my boy. No double dipping. You do it once.
This is delicious.
It's
You can
amazing.
taste that chicken. It's
It
almost like a
is.
chicken
it's
soup.
just absolutely. Now put a bit of black pepper in that.
Okay.
And while that is happening,
That's
we're going
amazing.
to garnish, because this is how you can take just a very ordinary soup. I don't think soup is ordinary. You know, soup is, for me, it's so
It's
nourishing.
special.
It says, I love you.
It's special.
And it's special. But we're going to turn it into something posh. Okay, just by adding a few little things. Now, you and I were stealing earlier, weren't we,
That
girl?
is.
Did you guys have some of that?
Oh, yes.
You did.
Yeah, we did.
So we thought you were knitting, but meanwhile,
We were nibbling.
We were munching.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, this is chorizo. If you can't find chorizo, you could use a good Russian sausage, or you could use some salami.
Is Russian like? I feel like there's MSG in Russians. Are Russian
Most-
sausages healthy?
Darling,
In
you know
Russians.
what? In most Russians
Russians
have got
have
MSG.
MSG. Yeah.
Most Russians.
No, seriously though. Most sausages, commercial sausages, will have a flavour enhancer in it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But you get artisan sausages, so go
Right.
to the local market and explore.
Yeah. Get good quality stuff.
Yeah. So, darling, you'll keep an eye on that. We're going to do a
Okay.
couple of little discs. Shall I cook a few extra for us?
Yes, I was about to say
Okay.
some
Okay.
more,
Guys, this is not
please.
biltong, eh?
Not yet.
No.
We're going to hang it. Well, you know what? If you're not afraid of a little bit of paprika, a little bit of
afraid.
well, don't be ridiculous.
I feel like it's raw. Like,
Just take
Don't be
it.
crazy.
Take it raw.
you guys.
Take it in. It's delicious. Don't do it.
Okay. It
No,
is
you
good.
took it raw.
I did. I took it
It's
raw.
not raw. It's smoked. Okay. So we're going to garnish with this. Look at that. I just love how the oil comes out of it. And once again, that's a natural garnish.
Yeah,
we
you-
can just use it, you know.
You didn't put any oil in there,
Nothing.
no butter,
No,
just
it's got-
sausages.
it's got all
very
its own
spicy.
thing.
Where'd you get this particular chorizo from? Is it a? It's got a nice kick to it.
It's got a lovely kick to it. It's an artisan one. We actually found it at a supermarket.
Oh, okay.
So you don't necessarily have to go to the market. If you scratch around,
Yeah.
you can find some good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to put another few pieces in this, and then I'm going to put you to work because you got muscle, right?
Yeah.
You have?
More pieces. I
Oh,
love
yes,
going to the
Kanya. And
gym.
then, oh, I know. Haven't met him yet. In it goes.
Okay.
Want some more? Now, often what happens is you get distracted and you get involved with other things. You think, oh my goodness, now I've overcooked my peas. We're using frozen peas. They're convenient. They're healthy. When things get frozen, it's quick. It's out of the field and into the freezer.
Right.
But anything that you overcook is going to lose its colour. So we are not going to cook those. We're going to just warm them, okay?
All right.
And I have a little tip here. I've got some extra spinach that I've just blanched off. If you're at home and you're making a pea soup, or even a split pea soup, and you just want to get more colour, you want that lovely vibrancy, you just pop some spinach into it and liquidize it, and it just bring a nice pop of colour to it.
Wow.
Okay.
So when do you prepare this? Let's say you've got guests coming over for Sunday lunch. Is it something that you make while they're with you, or do you prepare it before they
Do you know what I
arrive?
would do? I would do everything from taking the base. And in the morning, just put your peas in because you don't want to lose the colour. Give it a zzz, and away
then
we
you're
go.
done.
That's it. So, sweetheart, if you can pop that there, I do know.
So maybe burning like
isn't
this. Is
Not
this the
really.
right-
No, caramelizing.
All right.
Yeah. Let's bring this little baby out. Joe.
Do you help?
Yeah, yes,
Use
please.
the muscle. Okay.
We
that's
need
good.
muscle. We need muscle. Is it muscle or is it brawn?
All right. So this is your
Machine.
blender situation,
Yeah.
right? How are we going to do this? Maybe sideways.
Easily. We're going to just pop this around. Okay. Right. This is going to come off now.
Oh, that's easier than
Look
what I
at
was
that.
doing.
The thing is, you want. Yeah, you see? Just give it a little
I'm busy
spot.
messing around with a spoon, and
We
that's
just
it.
want to
right.
keep them busy. Okay, come here. Yeah. Take a nice big spoon, and I want you to fill this to sort of halfway with peas. Darling, you're going to lift that pot and bring it here if you don't mind.
Where's that pot
You
going?
put this big pot here.
Okay.
I'll just take that over here. And now you're going to put peas sort of halfway. And now when you're working with the blender, just be very careful that your stock is not too hot because it can explode. You know, when you sort of the pressure
Yeah. Okay.
can do that. That's perfect, yeah. You're going to take the, what do you call that thing, the ladle, and you're going to start ladling some of this into here.
How much? You say we're filling it up to about
Yeah,
right
you're going to
there.
go to there.
Okay.
The ladle is this thing.
It's the big spoon. The biggest one.
We know what the biggest one
That's
is. We know what
It's
the
not her
biggest
fault,
one is.
Jenny. It's not her fault.
sis. Listen to you.
Impossible. We're going to get you, boy.
All right, so I
Okay.
have to do this without spilling.
Yeah.
There's quite a
In you
lot
go.
of ladling
Ladling indeed.
or ladling. How do you say?
It's good.
Straddling.
Straddling.
There we go.
All right.
Right.
So, but couldn't you just use one of those things
What?
you stick in the pot to kind of liquidize the? It seems like.
If you've got one, use it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you can use the ones
Yeah,
that you
that's
stick in.
enough.
Good.
Oh, is that enough? Okay.
You see, typical boy, he gets all
Excited, he
enthusiastic
wants
and
to go.
excited. He doesn't know when to stop. Okay. Now we're going to just pop this on, and you're going to push the buttons.
All right, I'm going to
I'm
just
good
go
with
sit
buttons.
over in the
Pushing
lounge.
buttons is my
He
thing.
doesn't know. He just want to get green.
You're
I'll hold
wearing
it down.
white,
You push,
can you?
push
That's-
that one. Okay. What we do is just let it go. You want to break it down nicely, okay? Yeehaw!
It looks creamy, delicious.
Isn't it gorgeous?
ready.
It's lovely and swampy.
Oh yeah,
Look
it
at
is
that,
swampy.
Excuse my fingers. But it's such a lovely, vibrant colour. Now I'm going to put this, can you take this? And I want you to push this through the sieve. What you do is,
Gently
and
walk.
when you're pressing it, just push down.
She's a
push
little
down.
aggressive,
Look
right?
At that. So if you want it
She's
nice and
But
smooth,
that is so smooth. That is crazy.
it's beautiful smooth. But you know what? Why don't we have it with a bit of texture? I just want to show you how it's done in case you've
This
got
is for the
fussy
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you don't want to waste all of the goodness that's inside you. Your body needs that roughage. So that's for the one child in the house that's fussy, okay?
Okay.
All right, look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
That is.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
So all
loving
the pea shell coverings,
All will
etc.,
go.
would stay up
Would
top.
stay in
Yeah,
the sieve.
yeah.
And what you're getting down there
It's
is
a
just-
really, really smooth.
yeah.
But you know what? You know what's good for you, so we're going to go straight into the bowl.
Of course, let's go.
Are you with me?
I'm with you.
I'm loving it. Okay, let's put this to one side.
All right.
Looks very nice.
And let's just go plate.
Okay.
Simple, easy, 45 minutes in the pot. You can buy the stock, chop your veggies small, save electricity, and away we go. So, can we fly that to that side, my darling? I'll take a nice clean cloth. Lovely complementary flavours, that lovely spiciness. You both tasted the
Yeah.
chorizo. It gives wonderful kick to it. So we go yum. Now, if you're having the soup as a main dish, you can have it to the top. But if you're doing it as a starter,
Yeah.
you must remember people have got another 3 courses to get through. Something I like is a bit of feta. So the feta is going to bring a nice saltiness
Yes.
into it. So let's just crumble a tiny little drop of feta over the top. Less is more. Joe, maybe you can hide that for me, darling.
All right.
Give me 2 nice little pieces of this. I always cook more of this because it is so delicious. You should try it now that it's cooked. Just a little bit of that chorizo. Once again, it's going to give you
Not too
lovely.
much,
It's going to give
right?
you nice texture, yeah. And then pea shoots, which are very, very fashionable at the moment. But I used to eat these when I was a kid. Go into the garden with my dad, and he taught me to eat those. Just a nice little bit of pea shoot. Do you remember pea shooters when you were at school?
Yes,
Like that,
yes.
with a pin in it. Don't do that. Just a lovely bit of green. And I like chives. Chives have got a very subtle onion flavour. They've got a charm of their own. You know, it's just this beautiful taste. So can I have the cleaver back, Joe? So we didn't have to rescue this. We did it the right way. The spinach is still intact. And we can use that in another dish. So just some beautiful little chives.
Now, what is the purpose of all the garnish? I mean, obviously it enhances the flavor,
Texture.
but is it okay?
Texture. You see, I love layering flavors. For me, because I like surprises. So when I'm eating, I go, oh, that's a bit of onion, or gosh, I love that saltiness and the crispiness of the chorizo. And even the saltiness of the feta, but it's lovely and creamy. Do you know? So it's nice to encounter different things, but you don't want something that is not complementary to your dish, because what's the point?
I always want to garnish my food, but I always feel like people are gonna say he's taking chances. This dude,
He's trying to
like
He's hiding things.
Yeah, like I want to, but I'm like I don't know if you know.
I promise you, you can't go wrong. What I want to do is I'm going to give you a big mommy spoonful. Where's that thing?
the ladle?
Yeah, I'm actually going to serve you straight out of here. Just taste that now.
Okay.
I know you don't like cold soup, so I've warmed that up slightly for you.
All right.
And you just taste. I mean, and I don't find the texture at all offensive. You know, just mind your clothes now.
It's got like a meaty touch to it, surprisingly, to me.
You tasting
It's
a
delicious.
bit of umami. No, we've got no mushrooms in there, but isn't
No,
it
no,
good?
no. Yeah.
Hey? Look, my fingers love my face. Nice.
Really nice.
Isn't
And
that
you
good?
can have it cold.
You can have it cold as well, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's winter, summer, autumn, spring.
Beautiful.
Nice and
beautiful.
easy. It's an easy recipe to earn, and you can
fresh,
find it on our
I'd love
Facebook
to have a
page.
bit with the. But we're gonna have some later, right? With the
Yes.
chorizo.
Yeah, with the chorizo.
okay.
Table.
All right, cool.
Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to wash my hands and clear up, and you're going to carry on and do what you do well.
Absolutely, man. So while we continue cooking here, you guys, we're gonna take a short break.
And there's another
More,
performance coming.
yeah, more of the weekend edition coming up after this.
Welcome back to the weekend edition. Like how we do it in the show, if something is nice, we do it twice. So this is the part 2 of the interview with Untokozo. Like, my problem with gospel, well, not problem as such, I always wonder, do you have the pressures of always appearing as holy and gospel-y? You know what I mean? Where you can't turn up and rock up in torn jeans and a torn t-shirt with probably wine in your hand. Do you
Yeah.
think that you need to always have this image of you're just so...
Image of perfection.
Yes.
I think there is that pressure. I think it's part of being under the gospel umbrella. Yeah, and people expect that from you. People have high expectations of you. But ultimately, I think even via my social media, I always make sure that I try to show people that I'm just a human being, just like you guys. You know, sometimes I wake up sad and irritated, and I express that so that people get used to the idea of the fact that I'm not perfect. I also have bad days when I don't want to wake up. I also sometimes decide not to comb my hair. You know, I'm not always prim and proper and ready to go kind of vibe, yeah.
So, for instance, if I find he's performing somewhere, do you also go to a golden circle and go crazy? Are you allowed to do that?
I probably would, though.
Yes.
Because I remember in high school I did that, yeah. But even back then, people already knew me. But I remember we went to an Usher concert.
Oh, hey.
Yep. And,
Yes.
and my best friend and I, we were in the Golden Circle, so we were those girls. And yeah, I
But
had
then
fun.
do you get people that, I mean, that listen to your music and come up to you and say, your song changed my life, you know, it made me turn to God, it made me change. Do you get that where people look to you as salvation, in a way?
I get that a lot, but I wouldn't necessarily say that they look to me as salvation per se. I think my music can be a medium towards their salvation, which is found in God. I don't want to take God's place in anyone's life, at all. And I've received a lot of those messages whereby through listening to the music, people found themselves whether in some form of depression or just discouraged in life, and the music was able to uplift them, and they found comfort, they found themselves again, and they were able to pick themselves up and carry on. Yeah.
That's fantastic. But now your husband writes most of your music. Where does he get, is it things that you guys have been through together spiritually? Is it his own experiences, or he writes according to your personality and what he thinks fits for you?
I think because we both grew up in strong, strict Christian homes, and we know nothing other than Christianity, we know nothing other than Jesus being Lord from the time we were kids. And I think that has helped our relationship as well, even our growth spiritually, we grow together. So some of the experiences that we go through are translated into sometimes a song that he writes for me, and at times, sometimes even in a song that I write for him as well. So it's just an amazing spiritual journey that we've been able to take together, basically because of the foundation, which started with our parents.
So what's a Sunday like in your house?
Yo, in my house, it
Yes.
starts very early. It starts super early because our church has 3 services.
Wow, and you're in all of them?
Yeah, because my husband and I are in charge of the music department in our church. So, yeah.
What about the
that's a
kids?
Sunday.
Because my gran used to be a church worker as well, and it used to, you know, involve me as well, because I couldn't drive home.
Yeah.
So I was at church from 7 to like 5:30 in the evening. What happens to the
It's long.
kids?
But
What do you eat?
I pack lunch. I've learned to pack lunch for my girls. And most of the time, my husband leaves before us because he does the first service. And then, so that at least instead of them doing 3 services, they only do 2. And the thing is, all of them are in the morning. So the latest we leave at church is 1:30. So,
And then you get home at
then we
2,
get
and then what
home.
happens?
Then we eat.
Yeah? What do you eat?
I try to make sure that I cook either possibly the night before, especially if I'm not working on a Saturday. I try and make sure that I cook then so that Sunday when we come home from church, we're sorted. I love cooking homey stuff, you know, your curries, your stews.
We call it 7 color.
You know, you know, and your roasted goodies, you know, and a dessert as well. My husband loves sweet things.
Yes.
Yeah.
No wonder you're so sweet and you're with him, right? Right? But I'm glad that you love food and you love eating, because we are going to taste everything at the end. But the rules of the show are you sing for your lunch. So I believe that you're going to give us a performance. And
Yep.
what's the name of the song?
The song is called Amandla Egazi.
Amandla Egazi.
Yeah.
Well, take it away.
Elasikhona lasipha ukuphila liyinhlawulo elifana phakade nomnali umthombo wokuphila lona liyisisekelo sensindiso yezimpilo zethu ilelo gazi elasihlenga ekubhujisweni lasisindisa ekufeni ngalo lisuliwe icala kuphelelisiwe okulotshiwe ezwini lakhe amandla egazi negama likaJesu asusa ukweswela nenhlupheko wena khuluma igazi likaJesu empilweni yakho uzophinda impilo enothile egculisekile nethokomele wena khuluma igazi likaJesu empilweni yakho yebo kuphelele okudingayo empilweni yakho wena biza Amandla egazi, khona konke nokweswelayo uzokuthola kuphela. mhlekazi umufuni ntokozo phela biza mhlekazi kukhona kokudingayo kuphela biza mhlekazi soze waswela lutho biza mhlekazi lemvala when I biza amandla egazi
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Wow.
That is amazing. You know, they always say that even if we don't understand each other, music will always put us together. After the break, we carry on and we get to eat around the table and get more of our guests.
Welcome back to the weekend edition. Now, it wouldn't be Sunday without Sunday lunch. And we've convinced her to stop making a sweater and focus on
It's a
this
kitty
here
planting.
stomachs that are so hungry. So what are we making now?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to get ready.
Okay, where's mine?
You're getting your comeuppance.
I feel like I'm at the doctor's and something very strange is about to
Is it
happen.
fit?
Yeah.
Okay, what side are you going, left or right? Back or
I
front?
might like this. I might enjoy it.
It's getting on our nerves.
Am I getting on your nerves?
There
I'm
we go,
sorry.
darling. This is your one.
Okay.
Get your hand into the glove.
Okay. This is very special. This is thick. This is not like your rubber gloves.
It's
This
not
is
like a rubber. Blow it.
Protect with thy
Blow it.
manicure.
Blow it.
to make it pop out.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Protect thy manicure.
There we go.
Oh, it does
there
work,
we go.
right,
Just get
wow.
your hand in it.
Okay, cool.
We're working with raw chicken, so I cannot stress enough.
Really?
Remember what we said?
Yeah.
Salmonella and hygiene.
Hygiene.
Is it really that
important.
scary? Like, I feel like it's kind of made up. It's like the boogeyman.
No,
Oh,
it's not the
chicken
boogeyman.
is going to kill you. Is it
know,
really?
Jerry the germ is everywhere. And I think, you know, have you ever been to a restaurant and got a bit of food poisoning? And you
Yes.
paid someone to make you sick? Do you know what
It's
I'm
because
saying?
of- yeah.
So you've always got to be aware of it. So we're going to make, once again, we're hiding veggies. We're going to hide some carrots. We're going to hide some peppers. We're going to hide onions. We're going to hide spinach.
Okay.
Okay, and we're going to hide it with ham and chicken. This is a lovely loaf.
Okay.
Once again, we could assemble the whole thing the night before, and then just pop it in the oven. You can make your sauce the night before, come back from church, pop it into the
Voila.
oven, and then
this is
just
the main.
and that's the meal. Absolutely. So, Joe, I'm going to give you that minced chicken. Now, you
All
can
right.
buy minced chicken or you can make it yourself. If you've got a food processor, just take some chicken breast. I sometimes like to mix it with a bit of chicken thigh because it's got a bit of moisture in it. But because we're using pure chicken breast, we thought some bacon, madame.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind just giving that a little tip into there. Thank you, Joe. Or you just standing there pushing bowls?
What am I
Work,
supposed
mister.
to do? Can I start touching the chicken? Oh, no, I
Don't
can't.
start
Oh, all
touching
right,
it
okay.
until we tell you.
chicken,
Yeah, you
All
just
right,
want to
there
touch
you
it.
I do.
Okay, the reason why I'm saying that is, you know, have you ever worked with making meatballs or making burger
Yes.
patties?
Yes.
I like to put everything in and touch it once because otherwise you work the fat in it and it starts getting all grimy
gets messy
grubby.
because
It
you're
gets
still
very
touching
messy.
everything.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give you a little bit of binding, some fresh. When I say fresh, it's stale bread, but it's just slices of bread that we've turned into crumb.
Okay.
Just to help bind a little bit, there's some egg there, my darling. There we go, mister.
All right.
You can give it a tip.
Okay.
And with that gloved hand, you can crumble that in over the
Completely
top.
into.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, Kanyak, will
I don't know
you
if I've
take
crumbled it into
these
enough
things and
pieces.
just add it to the pile?
All of it at once.
All at once. Or you can just, you know what, you can play a little game and scatter it and, you know, do a little bit of that. Yes, come on, let's just do
what
this with
spices are these?
attitude. This is
Turmeric?
carrot.
This is carrot.
Carrot,
Peppers.
peppers
Some
and onions.
peppers, yeah.
Onions.
Now, if
What's
you
that?
want to, you can speed the cooking up by just putting it in a pan and cooking it off in a little bit of olive oil till it's just nice and soft, not too soft. You can add fresh thyme to this. You can add parsley to it. This belongs to you. It's your palate. You take it and you make it. We've got ground cumin and we've got a little bit of chili powder. You like it hot?
Of course, I put chili in everything.
Oh, so do I. It's full of vitamin C. Very, very healthy. Okay, now you can get your hands in there.
Can I?
Yeah, you do that, and
right.
we're going to do this. So while Joe is mixing, or more like stirring,
Yes.
He does
It's very
stir.
cold and sticky.
well, cold and sticky's fine. And here, a little bit of cheddar cheese. Okay,
All right.
so I think we're done here.
This is a very decadent loaf.
Do you know what? It looks like it's very decadent. There's half a cup of bacon in there that's been chopped. You know, there are lovely flavors in here, and a little goes a long way. You know?
Got you.
So this is what I like. So what we're going to do is we're going to take spinach, try and get the Swiss chard because it's got lovely big leaves. And you just blanch them off in some water and line the base. So you do that so that you know what to do next Sunday lunch. Am I right?
Yes,
Of course, I'm putting you to
And
work.
this
So
is a
you're lining-
non-stick pan.
Yeah, non-stick.
Are you lining that base to keep the meat from sticking, or is that a
No,
garnish?
I'm trying to get you to eat more spinach.
Got you.
Yeah?
Got you.
5, dear, 5.
There we go.
5 a
Yeah,
day.
remember 5. When you think of Jenny Morris, think of 5. We've got
5
1,
a
2,
day.
3, 4, 5 of our tomatoes.
Is this good enough? What I've done, or a bit more?
I think it's good.
Yeah, good.
I want you to split.
entire.
I want you to split that. He's such a lazy devil, isn't he? Split that in half.
Okay.
Bring the ham. Now the ham is going to add a little bit of decadence to this. You don't
Okay.
have to use the most expensive ham. You can use sandwich ham if you want to, and if the budget's good, use gypsy. You know what I'm saying? The
Gypsy
skies are
all day.
limited. Right. Just pop another few pieces down on that, and then what you're going to do is shape that into a log.
Okay, with one hand. I mean, I've only
one
got
hand
one
or two?
glove.
Give him your glove.
Am I?
Take the lady's glove.
Okay. Am I gonna? Do I need to blow it off? Because she's got this big ring on, and the
all right.
nails.
Here we go. Let's just do this.
Cheapers.
There, can-
That's why you don't cook.
Okay,
Who says I don't
she's got
cook?
no chicken on their blow.
Protect thy
I have to try and
manicure.
do this with one hand.
Let mommy help you. Okay, now I'll hold it over that big mouth of yours. Now blow.
No, it's the other way. Blow the other way.
Too much.
We've got to blow it out like that.
Too much
Yeah.
blowing.
Blow it either way. Go.
Lots of blowing.
Blowing.
You're always doing this to me. You're always like
always
making me
blowing.
look silly.
It's just too much.
Rubbish. You're
Yeah,
gorgeous.
okay, all
What do
right,
you mean?
cool.
Blow this one. Blow that one out.
So you can't cut now, you can't blow? Joe. Just blow, guys.
All right, there we go. I'm gonna have a little midget finger there. You guys are laughing over there. Hey, I'd like to see you guys
But it's
come
hard
and
to
try.
blow, I
Okay, cool. So I can do this. All right. So you want me to make a log,
a log, and then I want you to
a
press it
tiny
down.
log, like it?
That's good. And
Is
then
this
press
good?
Press it down so it fits over the
Okay,
ham.
so I'm gonna have to kind of.
There you
It
go,
feels a little
darling.
bit small. Do I have to stretch it out?
Yeah, stretch it out.
Yeah, I didn't do it well enough, did I?
That's okay.
So you're
So
gonna
you can
layer
get
it.
this lovely layered effect, yeah. Now, if you want to, you could use minced pork. You could use make a meatloaf. You know, like you were
Right.
saying earlier, the Americans are crazy about meatloaf.
Right.
You can put minced turkey.
I've never
Anything
been
you
a
want.
fan of the minced meatloaf that they make in the States.
Well, it depends on what's in it, you know.
Right,
I love
yeah.
minced meat, though.
Same here.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's underrated, as long as it's good mince. There you go, darling. And now you're going to put a little bit of ham over that. See,
Wow.
it's
So
good.
you'd prepare this the night before, put it aside, and then.
Put it in the fridge, close it up nicely, and straight away put it in the fridge because you've got raw chicken.
How long is this gonna bake for?
About 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes very quickly.
So 30 minutes, 45 minutes before
That's it,
mealtime,
and
you
it's
pop it
done.
in,
Yeah.
and you end up looking like a star.
You will
Yeah.
be the star, my love.
Right. How did you do it? Oh my gosh.
It was just so easy. I
Yeah.
put on my gloves.
Soup, you had a starter. I did it last night. Okay.
Now, don't waste.
Okay.
That's
okay.
the one thing I can't take, is when I see bits and pieces
Waste
lying
not,
there.
want
Waste
not.
not,
Will it,
want
will it
not.
spread out on its own, or
Yeah,
do I
just
really need
push
to
it-
make sure
push
that
it into the
okay,
corners?
so,
Yeah,
okay.
push into the corners, and then, love, you just pop it and top it up with what you have there, and I shall unveil you.
Okay.
I will deglove you. Come
There
to me.
you go. There you go.
Okay, come.
Put a blankie on the baby.
The baby.
I don't know anyone who has gloves at home for cooking. Like
I
usually
do.
Get
you would-
yourself
Do
a
you
pair.
have gloves?
I do. I have gloves
Girls
for
have
everything.
nails.
Right.
Yeah. I've got one in the oven.
Yes, I want to see what the
Yeah.
finished product looks
We're
like.
going
So
to take one out.
you would put it in the oven. I mean, you put this in the fridge like this.
Close it up nicely.
Wrap it up nicely in the refrigerator.
Oh, okay,
refrigerator.
yes. Okay.
Yeah, and then This is what the
Yeah.
finished product will look
Yeah.
like, right?
Yeah, we're going to
So
just...
let's have a look at that.
But careful, don't turn around, darling. Oh, la la. Okay, this one has got, it's very, very juicy. Yeah, we can put this on a nice warm base. This one we'll
On the side.
put aside. So you can actually see now, look here.
Beautifully
this-
shaped, yeah.
It's got a little bit of sauce in it, so I don't want to,
You want to spill it in here?
yeah, I want to spit it in there. But that's delicious sauce. So if you're doing this at home,
Don't
don't
waste
waste
it.
it.
Yeah.
You know what? Put it in the freezer and add it to a soup. It's delicious. Yeah. Right. Now we're going to just invert
Smells
it.
amazing.
Does it smell good?
Yeah.
I'm happy you like it.
Yum, yum, yum.
Onto your platter. This is where you come in. We want the muscle.
Okay, what am I going to do?
So what you've got to
now?
do
This
is
is
you hold
scary.
this down.
Okay.
Okay. Just don't burn yourself, Jessa. Let me show you. You hold that down onto that. You've got to hold the tray. So
You guys always make me do the crazy stuff. Like, do I have to
like
take
you're
my
a
jacket
crazy
off?
man.
Okay,
So
let me
hold
help
that.
you here.
Yeah, you
so
hold
I
that.
must hold this, yeah? Hold it like how? Like this?
Like this, so you don't burn.
Okay,
Okay, let me put that on top.
okay.
And then we've got to get some of this under.
Okay.
Okay, so don't. And we're going to just go tip.
Oh, okay, just like that.
This
All
is
right.
good. It's done.
Here we go, voila.
Uh-oh. I've got chef hands, hot hands. Phew. Oh, look at that.
Ooh, look at
Isn't that
that.
beautiful?
What a beautiful loaf.
Look at that. It's just very, very simple. It's simple ingredients. And, you know, you don't always have to have the most expensive ingredients to, you know, come out with a beautiful meal.
It's things you have at home.
Exactly. And some gorgeous tomato sauce.
Right.
Now, this I've just made with some onions and some garlic and tomatoes. I put a oregano in here,
Right.
a bit of margarine. Simple, simple, easy peasy.
Now, would you not slice it beforehand, or you
Now you
do
bring
this
it,
and then let
bring
it cool
to
down?
the table. And you bring it to the table. This because you know you can serve this in winter. You can serve it actually as a cold meat.
Right.
In summer, you know,
summer,
it doesn't really,
yes.
doesn't really matter. Now, I couldn't think of anything better than using tomato with pesto because you
Right.
want some beautiful basil.
Right.
So I'm going to just
Spread some of that on.
spread the love.
Looks
Yeah.
good.
Does it look good? And all the flavors are complementary, you know. Ta-da! Are you a happy boy?
That looks exciting.
Good.
That's very.
And there's lots of green. You know, we are.
Oh, we
going
haven't started.
green.
We're not done,
We're
guys.
not done yet. There's
Yeah.
more.
No. The sprouts are beautiful. Sprouts have got so much energy because it's
Yeah.
the beginning of a plant.
Right.
So it's got lots going for it. And it's simple as that. If you're happy,
Wow.
I'm happy. What do you
Chicken
say?
loaf.
Chicken loaf. Just get rid of
Jenny's
the
chicken
smell.
loaf.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's our chicken loaf.
There we
So
go.
there you have
Yours,
it. It is.
ours, and mine.
Yes. So as you can see, it's very easy to put a meal together and be the host with the mostest all the time. So stick around as we join our guests and we devour the loaf.
All right, beautiful, man. I can't wait to have it. Now, it's off to Maboneng in Joburg. That is the CBD. Do you know what Maboneng means? Well, it means place of light. It is Joburg's creative hub, and that is where the Bioscope, an independent movie house, is situated. Joburg's only independent cinema devoted to bringing the latest in art house, indie, documentary, and foreign films to the South African big screen. We spoke to the owner, Russell Grant. Take a look.
In Joburg's Maboneng precinct, you'll find unique shopping spots, restaurants, and entertainment venues like the Bioscope. The independent picture house and cafe screens indie and classic cinema and hosts exciting events that take the movie experience to a new level.
Well, when it comes to the Bioscope, I started it with my good friend Daryl Else in 2010. We were two film students at Wits University, and we just did it. We just started it together by hook or by crook. We made it happen, and here it is going strong 6 years later. We were one of the first spaces or retail spaces in what was then the Maboneng precinct. And of course it was a very exciting time because there was a lot of attention and there was a lot of press on the idea of this precinct. And something as unique as the Bioscope, you know, played kind of hand in hand of that. And I'm sure that they appreciated having someone like us sort of try something so unique. What we show at the Bioscope, we've always kept it kind of different. The whole idea is that we're not a typical movie house. We're not one that you would find in the mall that would show commercial content. We do interesting independent stuff. We'll do marathons, we'll do classic films. It's just a little different to what we've been used to. When it comes to the design of the Bioscope, we realized and we're very excited very quickly to adopt our surroundings, which is a industrial factory space. When it came to the light fittings, we went with the kind of light fitting a panel beater would stick inside a car hood, because where we are, literally right now, where I'm standing and where the Bioscope was, used to be a panel beaters. And the seats are car seats because of that. It's been a very exciting past 5 years. We've done a broad range of things across the years. We've had a lot of fun concept evenings that we've developed and brought up and brought back and kept going, like people eat noodles and watch kung fu movies, or there's clues and you don't know what movie you're going to watch. And then we've also hosted a number of very exciting film festivals and have gotten the chance to work with a number of different embassies. Well, what's next for us has really always just been about making the Bioscope everything that it can be. We will always try our best to do outdoor cinema screenings whenever we can. Obviously, those things take a lot of time and budget, and whenever possible, we will try and do more and more of that. And yeah, it's just each day is an exciting challenge.
Entertainment spaces like the Bioscope are bringing innovative thinking to the city's cultural scene and has become a significant contributor to the rejuvenation of the inner city.
Now, while you guys get to cooking, we're gonna get to eating, and we've got one final performance from Dogozo. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back with more Weekend Edition after this.
It's a weekend. It's a weekend.
Welcome back to the Weekend Edition. We are joined with our almost final moments with our two lovely guests, Ntokozo Mbambo and, of course, Ashley Ace. Now, both of you guys are business people, entrepreneurs, right?
Yes.
You started a record label, which is called what again?
Coco Records.
Coco Records. Explain the Coco for people. Why Coco Records? Where does that come from?
She black on the outside and white on the inside.
No, it's Coco with a K-O-K-O.
No, it's K-O-K-O.
Coco.
Yeah.
Coco.
Yeah, but in our case, it's Ntokozo Nqubeko Thoko.
So it's supposed to be Coco music.
I don't know. It just sounds weird.
It's
The
a-
Coco. I don't know.
But it's a family business. You
Yeah,
started
it
it with
is.
your husband, right?
Yes,
And it's your record
and
label.
our aunt, yes.
And then you've got your business. What is your business called again, by the way?
Medical diagnostic.
Medical diagnostic. Okay, you got that straight from the dictionary. You didn't try to be creative. Medical diagnostic. But you've got great family support as well. Your mother works in your business. I wanted to ask you guys, how important is it to have family support in business?
Oh, no.
Especially as an entrepreneur.
Why are you saying, oh no?
She's feeling the pain of the question.
Family.
But dude,
They don't
no.
get there at 7. It's like, but you know I had to go pay for my license disc, though.
But
Family.
not all of them. Not
These
all of them.
families.
Choose wisely though.
Yeah.
You know,
What
because
if all
you
of them
know.
are like that?
Hey, son.
Didn't you just hear that? She just took a dig. She said choose wisely, meaning you haven't been choosing wisely.
That's what I'm saying.
She's
That's
just
what
like,
she is to me on the bus.
But how would you explain the ingredients to success in involving family in a business? What does it take, and how important is it?
For us, it's very important for us to know each other's different strengths and
Which is
know,
what he was saying
and know-
earlier.
and know each other's different weaknesses as
Oh,
well.
which is what he was saying earlier.
So that you're able to allow a person to operate fully
Yeah.
in their strength, and so that in that way we don't clash.
So
as
in
well.
Coco Music, what would you say your strength is? Are you more the talent and he kind of works the back end? Is he more? You mentioned that he writes the music. How do you
Yeah.
split the work?
Well, in our case, I think I'm more of the talent and also coordinating and also the creative side of from staging to what it should look like and stuff like that.
Oh, you make all the sexy decisions, and then he has all the tough
He needs to
grind,
needs to
back
grind.
office decisions.
Yeah, so he
Gets his
all
hands
the,
dirty,
he gets all the
etc.
nasty stuff, and my aunt as well. Yeah.
And your aunt.
Yes.
The whole family.
No, my brother, you are surrounded. And then with you, Ashley, obviously, did you bring your mother in because you needed the support, or you saw an opportunity for her to come and just play a role because you had a job?
Well, my entire family works for me, my brothers as well.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so it's more family business. Who do you trust more than your immediate family?
Yeah.
Working after hours, they are willing to put in the extra hours.
Right.
Not a 9 to 5. If I succeed, they succeed, so that's the mindset.
Was it a case of not having the resources to pay people and they were like, listen, we're available?
Well, I looked at charity starts at home.
Yeah.
Skill set, recruit him from home. And that's
Yeah.
what I saw.
Right.
The passion, the experience there. And it worked well for us up till now. I hope
Yeah.
nothing goes bad in future.
Right. Would you say you underpay your family, or
Never.
you?
Incentive.
What would they say?
Look, for example, my brother.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
brother doesn't have a science degree, but he works in the lab for me.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So I've showed him how to do certain things. Now, if you look
You've
at it,
empowered him with skill.
exactly. If you look at scientists, we think factual. Now, sometimes you miss the obvious. Now, imagine combining skilled with unskilled.
Yeah.
That can bring innovation.
But are you firm with them?
So,
like,
for sure.
Yeah.
My brother will get a result, and he'll come to me and say,
I
"Ashley,
guess
look
what
here."
Kanye's asking is, are you the boss?
I am the boss, of
Okay.
course. I run the business. But
Yeah.
for me, innovation, the way I see it working, you need to be able to see the obvious and the not so obvious.
Yeah.
So.
No, I
my
get
bro-
exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
The things
my brother,
you would
for example, he will get a result, and he'll come to us, and then we will explain afterwards. Oh, okay, that's what happened. Whereas we would have maybe thought too factual about the formulations, etc. So for me, that is a value add of having family in your business as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
you work with family?
He would have said, no, the thing went brown, and you'd be like, no, it caramelized. So when I work with family,
Yeah.
I never know. Like, I've heard so many different conflicting forms of advice. Some people say, don't work with family. And then other people say, it's great when you work with somebody and you're in the same industry and, you can support each other. But I can see how it could go bad either way.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Are you the boss in your business? Ooh. She has to dance carefully around this, eh? Who's the boss?
That's so not fair.
Who's the boss?
Whose company is it?
Who runs things?
Huh? Who's
Who's
it
the
named
last
after?
key? The person who closes the last
Who
door.
cuts the check? Who pays the
Who
bills?
has the corner office with the view? The bigger chair. The bigger door.
Who flies business and who flies economy?
That's deep. That's deep. That's very deep.
All right. But all fun aside, still on the issue of topic of entrepreneurship, I'm always fascinated by entrepreneurial horror stories. Now, we were talking off camera earlier.
Yeah.
We were on camera, we spoke about all the successes you've had, all the awards, the businesses you've started, the accolades, and the partners you've sort of evolved into your business. Share with us a horror story about being in business, the downside.
Yeah, for sure. For me, in my opinion, in every business or in any business you are involved in or run, you're going to have a horror story. There's no way everything's going to be smooth sailing.
Right.
And it's how you recover from that horror story.
Right.
Now, my horror story.
Yeah, you touched on the legal thing, but you didn't get into what actually
the
happened.
details. Yeah. So,
I hate legal
me,
stuff.
at the age 24 years old,
Yeah.
wanting to sign the first big deal,
Yeah.
I thought, you know what, I don't have to go to a lawyer.
Yeah, I got this.
I know it all, and signed the deal and...
They gave you the contract. You said, this looks right. Yeah.
I signed it.
Sign here? Okay. Right.
And for technology I developed. So I then asked, when am I getting my proceeds?
Yeah, when am
and
I
they
getting
said, but there's
paid?
no date. I can pay you anytime. I'm like, okay. That's why they say take your contracts to a lawyer.
Yeah.
Went ahead, ended up in High Court, lost the case for my own
So
technology.
they never paid you.
Never paid me.
And then
Then they won the case on technicality. I went to High Court, and there was no way of proving my point of what happened.
So you have the same story as that Vodacom guy with that please call me thing.
Well, except he won.
Yeah.
We're talking to a loser here. So just hang on for a second. So did they take your intellectual property as well?
Yeah, for sure.
So just by I've heard this so many times. I've heard of people going to Hollywood with movies done, shot, and sealed. Like, I paid for this movie, I did it, I need a distribution deal, and they sign the deal. They don't even own the movie, and they never get paid. So that's exactly what happened to
And
you.
the school fees. Think of the school fees.
How much did you lose? Would you say?
Probably about 500,000 rand. 25 years old.
Yeah.
Thinking of the sheriff of the court coming to my house.
Yeah.
Getting yourself out of that, and then of course I had a network and looked at how I can get myself out of this. Look at innovation. Fortunately, I had a way out.
I liked what you said
It's
about.
school fees. That's how you learn, though.
But it's
Being around the
expensive
block.
school fees.
Yeah.
The legal, you always think, you can sue, but you don't realize that that's a whole nother thing in of itself. And you lost on a technicality. You didn't lose on the merits of the case. You lost on a technicality.
You know what the technicality was? My advocate said, this contract is null and void because we had to sign twice and all these technical reasons. However, if it's not null and void, we hereby terminate. There's no termination clause. And the judge obviously looked at it and said, you can't terminate something that's null and void. So now me going now in business...
So you had bad advice.
Exactly. But besides that...
that you paid for.
Exactly.
Wow.
But now I understand contracts because I've been through that.
Right, right.
You know, so I'm very careful now. I think of every clauses, all the clauses in there, go for second opinion, etc.
For those of you just joining us, Ashley here started his own biotech business in the medical space. And he's developed some medical tests for not only diseases, but also drug tests and things like that. And he distributes them all across the country. And now you've got an app coming out soon, right? A digital app. Well, what about you? Business, horror stories. You're a singer, entrepreneur.
Did you sign the wrong voice?
I think for us, one of the horror stories would possibly be the fact that not only do we just record music and release it, but we also have to do events as well. It's part of promotions and whatnot.
Go on tour.
Exactly. And sometimes it just doesn't work out, hey? In the sense that you've literally, it looks like you've done everything. You've marketed the event, you've...
and nobody shows up.
Like 3 people.
But that's,
You've had that?
That is so embarrassing. Have you ever had that happen to you?
I have had that experience. It's really not nice.
That is, no, it's not.
But for me it works because if you're booked for a gig and you're paid, and 3 people pitch, clearly it's cancelled.
No, but
so that's good.
You've never put together a gig. She's saying she puts together the event.
I feel sorry for those people.
Aspect. That's a completely
I've been there,
different
girl.
side.
I know it's like...
3 people, guys, who are your friends?
It hits your pride. It's like you feel like a loser.
What was I thinking?
And you have no money now.
Exactly. You've lost the whole lot.
Change your friends, guys.
Then you have to learn from it and re-strategize and find different ways.
All right, so what's next for you guys? What's next for you? You've got your album out. You've just been winning these awards. How do you see the future, the immediate future turning out for you? What are your plans?
My future, definitely consists of obviously producing lots of music as the years go by. Our company has even a young artist that we've taken, and he released his first album last year, and next year we're going to do a live DVD for him as well. And and then secondly, I'm also very passionate about young girls, so I'm going to start a foundation for just young teenage girls, man, where they can just come and just express themselves and learn and grow. Sometimes I feel like having been a teenage girl, there were certain things that I wasn't told and certain things that I had to try out by trial and error. I agree. You know, and so that's really my strong, passion.
Like what? What weren't you told?
Hey, girl stuff.
Girl I never had an issue. No.
But I'd like to ask a question. Why don't the visitors ever eat the rusks?
Where's the coffee?
Good question. Yeah, we need to get a barrister in the house.
We need to get
learn
that.
how to make coffee. Me and Kanye don't know how to make coffee, but we know. You know what? We do have some desserts. We got a full course meal lined up for you guys. We're actually gonna make desserts next, and then we also have a final performance from our lovely Ndogos over here.
Delightful.
Go music. It's the weekend edition. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I told you, man, what a feast we are having. You're probably hungry right now at home. You need to go to the grocery store, buy all the stuff, and make it at home. So what are we doing now?
Right. We're going to waste not, want not.
Okay.
There are lots of people that need good, wholesome nutrition, and we throw bread away all the time. And it gets me down. So I always try and look at ways of how can I recycle that bread or upcycle it into another dish. So, I mean, crumbs are the, you give that a whisk, my darling, you just break those up. So
is this old bread or like?
1 day, 2 days,
okay.
three
so
day
it's
bread
not
here.
moldy bread.
No. Then you're going to kill the family.
Because, all right.
Now,
but that's penicillin anyway.
Exactly. It depends if we have an allergy or not. Remember we spoke about before having a new home and not having all the things in your kitchen that you need. So this is just a little tuna can.
Okay.
So we eat the tuna, keep the can. We're recycling. And then you just take your bread and pop it down like that. And then you have these
Circle.
beautiful little discs, okay? So what we're going to do, Joe, is make some French toast.
Okay.
We're going to make French toast and we're going to turn it into a dessert.
Right,
Okay,
right.
because I know most people have it for breakfast.
Yes.
Well, we're
With
having it
maple
for
syrup
dessert.
or-
Lovely.
Yeah.
So what you're going to do, young man,
Is dip the bread into the.
you're first going to get the pan hot.
Okay, how do we
Yeah.
do that, by the way? This is
You
a
just-
fancy stove, Jenny. Oh, okay, there
It's
we go.
so easy. You just put it down
All
in
right,
there.
beautiful.
Don't over soak the bread because you don't want this bread breaking up. Okay, you want to keep it nice. I don't want that too hot because I really don't want the butter to burn. So we're going to make some beautiful French toast sandwiches. We're going to stuff it with mascarpone,
Okay.
which is this lovely cream and some mascarpone cheese. Okay, we're going to add some fresh mint to it because we're going green.
Okay.
Yeah? So what you do is, can you pass me, I'll take a spoon. Will you manage?
Yeah, I'll manage.
Will you manage?
Oh, is that for you?
Yes, no,
What will
no.
I? Oh, must I just?
You can do that. What I want you to do is just give this a little.
Oh, just turning it.
Yeah,
and
turning it
stuff.
around.
Okay.
I'm going to add a
I
little
don't
bit
think
of
this
honey.
is on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't know how to turn it on.
There we go. It's on now. All right. There
Yeah?
we go. Butter's melting. All right. So give this a
Okay.
turn.
I'm going
Let
to
me-
just add a tiny little bit of honey to the egg, just to give it a bit of depth of flavour.
All right. No je ne sais quoi.
Yes, exactly, and tiny bit of orange zest. You know me and my
I know you
zest.
and your
Oh,
oranges.
me and my oranges.
But now after
Wouldn't
you
be
zest the
your
orange, what do you
dish.
do with it? Like you.
This.
You can't put it back in the rack, right?
You eat it.
You get. Oh, okay. So I'm turning the I'm turning the French toast.
Yeah. Wait for the butter to melt.
Okay.
And once the butter's melted, what we're going to do is we're going to cook them. We don't want them brown. We want them golden and crisp and delicious. Okay, so you still want them nice and eggy. That's perfect.
Okay, that's perfect. So.
Yeah. So
Must
swi-
I
you
spread
I'm
this
going
on?
to help you there with
No,
that
yeah,
batter.
yeah. You come and swirl the pan, madame. We'll give him the dirty work, love. That's it. Just give it a little swirl.
It's a heavy pan.
It's a very heavy pan. When you need a heavy pan in the kitchen.
I didn't realize
You better watch your step.
Watch yourself. Watch yourself.
She's got
Dynamite comes in what?
small packages.
There we are.
Okay, now look. The minute that starts to bubble,
Yes.
I want you to go in with the...
Get that sizzle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
And what are we looking for? Are we looking for what sort of consistency on the?
On the outside?
Yeah. Are we looking for a brown or gold or
Golden,
just?
golden, but
gold.
I'm going to have my beady
always
eye
go
on
for
you.
gold.
see.
Okay.
So, yes, we go for gold. We're South African, man.
Yes, always.
Look here, I'm going to give you those while we soak. You want to grab another egg, hun? Because I don't want these over soaking, okay?
Right, right. And they have been.
Yeah, that one needs more love. There you
Okay.
go. So you put 4 in a pan. Don't overcrowd the pan because you're not going to achieve anything. It's going to break up.
Is the pan bubbling? This is the bubbling effect you're
It's
talking about.
almost
Okay,
there.
wait a moment.
Just wait a few moments. Now, do you know how to tell whether an egg is fresh?
Wow.
It's something
clue.
to consider before you even start cooking, because have you ever started a cake or started an omelette, started something, you put all your eggs in one basket,
Yes.
and there one is fraught.
You smell it.
You don't smell it.
Oh.
You will smell it once it's open.
Right.
But what you do is you just put it in a bowl of water, cold water. If
yeah.
it floats,
It's good.
no, it's bad.
Right.
Oh, it
If
needs
it
to sink.
floats, because an egg is porous, and what happens is as it gets older, it loses, you know, the moisture.
Yeah.
And so it's going to float to the top. If it sinks to the bottom, you air for
And we
away.
tend to keep our eggs in the fridge forever, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I do. I just think, although they say, you know, keep them out of the fridge, each to their own. In summer, I keep mine in the fridge.
Right.
Okay,
Okay.
darling.
So is this the bubbling effect? No?
No, you can
Wait a
go-
while.
Yeah. Well, you can put it in, but then don't turn it too soon.
Okay. Well, I'll wait for the right moment.
You don't want it to go like this. You can actually feel, and when it feels a little bit discomfortable, when you've got a bit of discomfort coming,
Yeah. Well, no, I can manage.
can you manage? That's
I'm
because you're
starting
so
to feel a
hot
little
yourself,
discomfort,
hey,
yeah,
darling. He's
I
starting to
am.
feel the heat in the kitchen. You
All
can
right.
start popping
There
them
we
in.
go, okay.
Lovely, and there you go, darling. You see, you don't need any direction. She steals with her eyes. I've got to tell you everything, Joe.
Steal is the operative word.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hello. She knows everything, this girl. I like it. Here we go, baby. Okay, so now a little bit of patience. And then while Joe is doing that, what I've got here is some berry curly. Now, you could use strawberry jam. You could use any of those berry jams if you wanted to. I've just made this from orange juice, a little bit of sugar, and some frozen berries. They're cheaper, and I think we should teach some of our friends out there how to make a coulis on one of the shows.
Right, yeah.
Because it's stunning, because you can make it, you can freeze it, you can pull it out anytime you like, you
Yeah.
know? And it just makes everything look a little bit more decadent.
Right.
And you don't need a lot. A little goes a long way.
So you call this a what?
A berry coulis.
A berry coulis.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Spelled coulis.
Not a jam, but a berry coulis.
It's a
Okay.
coulis.
So Cooley Roberts can be berry.
Yeah,
Okay,
very
girl.
nice, doll. Very, very, very nice. Okay, I want you to take a peep.
Ooh, is that what
That's
we
good,
want?
yeah.
Okay.
This is what we want, and by adding the honey, it just kind of caramelizes a little bit more. Isn't that deliciously gorgeous?
Beautiful, yeah.
It's stunning. So we'll pass that on to the man. Now with the crumbs, take that, darling. Show the crusts to everybody that we haven't thrown them away, those ones. We're going to make crumbs with that, and crumbs freeze beautifully. Make a macaroni cheese. Even when you're making a pasta, just toast some off in the pan and go chick, chick, chick.
Gotcha.
Okay? Right, so you're going to go out of that pan
Straight into here.
straight
Are
into
they good to
there.
go now?
They're good to go.
Perfect.
Good to go, because there's enough heat in that bread. It's going to hold the heat and cook the egg a little bit longer.
Look at my layering
Isn't that
technique.
gorgeous? I'm loving
I'm
it.
so sexy.
He's too sexy by his shirt.
All right, where do I put this?
That's a matter of
put it here.
interpretation. Am I right, girl?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Grab that, darling.
All right.
I'll give you some butter. Give my thing back.
Okay, there you go.
There you go. All right, here you go.
Ooh, that's a lot of butter. You don't play.
My nickname is Betty Butterlegs. I love butter. In you go. Go before
All
it
right.
gets,
Oh, go.
it gets nutty brown, because that would be gorgeous to cook sage in, but I don't know about your,
Oh, right.
your distings.
Okay.
Lovely. Okay, while those are nice and warm, you and I are going to work at this. Now, if you wanted to, you could add things like cinnamon, cardamom, any kind of ground ginger is also lovely added to your eggs. So the choice is yours. Do it any way you like. Okay, so pass me that. Let's start assembling. Just get them down onto your plate, like so. I suppose everybody's going to want some of this, am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to take a little bit of, grab a couple of mint leaves, my darling. Just take off some mint. You keep your beady eye on that young man.
Mint.
Yeah,
Where
mint.
am I? How many leaves would you like?
Just one per. So you come behind me, we'll do this factory style, where you just come and top it. There we go. Now you're showing my girth. She's too sexy for her girth.
Tanya, have you shrunk? What happened? Oh, sorry. It just
Tanya,
you
ignore the
were a
man.
little bit taller earlier. I don't know what happened.
Okay, Kans. Or if you come,
So yeah, they're looking delicious.
They're
What's
looking
happening?
good. This is mascarpone. Mascarpone is absolutely delicious. Now, what you're going to do, honey bunny, is give him a smack. One mint leaf, and I come behind you with some of this gorgeousness.
Oh, yes.
Yeah? And we'll put the rest over the
That
top.
looks crazy.
It is so delicious. This is
Now,
from bread.
these are ready to be put on a...
Yeah, take them out.
Okay.
Now, you could serve them singularly, or if you're a greedy girl like me, you might want to make a sandwich out of it. But maybe today we're going to just serve them as singles. What do you say?
I think it's time for us to eat, girl.
Oh, gosh,
That's
you're
what
such
he
a
thinks.
greedy boy.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to bring a nice little fresh element onto our plate, like so. I mean, there you were earlier. He's lazy. Yeah? Getting us to do all the work. He was saying earlier, oh, this is just such a whatever. This is bread, it's eggs, it's a couple of berries.
It's a
Some
lot
honey,
of work.
honey.
It's
A little bit of honey.
Honey, honey.
Honey, honey. A little bit of honey. Just bring a bit more sweetness into it. Just like so. Look at that. Don't tell me that's not delicious. Look. Bit of icing sugar. Ooh. Isn't it pretty? And if you really, really, really want to get cute and sexy,
I knew it wasn't it.
some edible flowers. Now, don't go killing your family with anything you pick in the garden, okay? You must always make sure that the flowers or any garnish that you pick is edible. Now, this is called an elderberry. elderberry, you make wine, you can make jam, and you can certainly eat them. They're delicious and nutritious. And I think dinner will be served. Lunch.
An older version of a berry.
Yeah.
On that note, we're almost out of time, but we still have to eat, guys. We're gonna take a short break. When we come back, we've got some music and some food to get into. Welcome back to the weekend edition. You know what time it is.
Oh yes, Hunger Games.
Yeah, so what do we have here, Jenny? Let's just go back through everything. We've got the starter, which
We've
is...
got that lovely pea soup.
All right.
And we've
with some
got,
chorizo, yes, of course.
And this is this lovely mushroom, not mushroom, it's a chicken and bacon bake with the ham and spinach.
Let me get some of that,
Which I'm going to give you a big daddy piece.
Let me get the corner
because
slice.
I think you've earned it. You can have the mess. Oh, gosh.
Beautiful. And to think, yeah, you need the cleave. And to think you made this while sewing. Like, that's incredible.
Well, you know, I can multitask, darling.
I'm learning.
You're going to have a piece?
All right.
I would like the guests to have.
Yes.
And then the dessert is...
Thank you. It looks so delicious. Yummy. Sure.
What is this? What is the dessert again? I know that it's French toast.
Recycled bread turned into French toast with mascarpone, fresh mint, and some lovely berry coulis.
Beautiful, man. Ashley, what are you most excited about having here?
I like soup.
Yeah,
I love
you like
soup.
me, yeah. Beautiful, man. All right, so while we eat, guys, we're gonna get into a beautiful performance. And Dogo's is performing a song off of her latest album. What's the name of the song, Kanye, again?
What is the name of the song?
Buena.
Buena Wedwa.
Enjoy.
When I went to sabiko fananaye simona smate simona 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 ngomunye kaso sabiko fananaye simona munye smate simona munye.
Girl, come and eat. Come and eat.
That's how it goes. Thank you so much for joining us. See you same time, same place, Saturday and Sunday, 6:30 to 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Have a fabulous Sunday, guys.